In this video, I'm going to demonstrate the process of updating a tornado object, and so this kind of follows on from the previous video that I just showed, where I was creating the object from scratch. So what's happened here? About 4 minutes has elapsed since I created that object and issued it, and in that time, then what's happened? If we go back a few frames. Here's before I created the object. Here's where I created it. So you can see how the object was pretty much centered on the ball of the hook echo here on the radar. And then, not surprisingly, the forecast has evolved, or the observations have evolved, I should say, in a manner that isn't exactly consistent with the extrapolation from the motion vector that I assigned to it. In this case, it's actually looks like it's moving a little bit more toward the northeast than it was progged when I calculated it earlier. So that might necessitate then needing to provide an update, but that necessarily isn't the only instance where you might provide an update. Another instance might be that you have obviously some more information about what's happening. If it's doing some particular kind of damage, if it's for hail, for example, if it's met some kind of size criteria, any kind of size criteria, really anything like that, any kind of helpful information, you can basically use it as sort of a running chat log as well. So in this case, though, I'm going to demonstrate how to update this with the geospatial aspect noted in particular. So to do that, we have to click on the object. You can click anywhere inside the object. If you click off, that will take away the pane on the left. Sometimes it's helpful just to actually click on the label itself. From there, you'll get some diagnostic information, some very quick lookup information about how, the information with the object, how many minutes ago it was issued, and some of the tags and discussion information. And then from there, basically you just click modify. When you do that, it's going to bring back up the editing window, and it will have all of the attributes that you had set in there previously. It'll bring all those back up for you to then just make some subtle modifications to. One thing I didn't demonstrate in the previous video, a couple things really. One is this grid preview checkbox. So once you check that on, it will remain checked on until you check it off. But that can kind of give you a sense of where your probabilities then would map out on the map. The other is the warning polygon information. Again, I noted that that would take some time to render from the grid, but you can note that for at least where we're at currently in the stages of research and development, that would correspond to this outer polygon, which is hatched in red and black. So to do the update, then simply you can just take the object and drag it up to where you need it to go. When you do the modification, you notice it made basically a replica of your object of wherever it was on the map. And so we can just simply do a drag on the map, and then again we can go back a few frames and get the motion vector assigned to it. So actually it doesn't look too bad. And then just go back to the current frame, and I'll just say tornado still occurring at this time. And again, though, you can make any kind of modifications you want to this, and basically what it will do is, if you think about how it relates to the current warning paradigm, it would be like like sort of a reissuance, if you will. But doing that sort of automatically under the hood for you, so you wouldn't have to necessarily do a cancellation and a reissuance or anything like that. It would sort of do all that under the hood and keep track of all this information for you. So you can basically stay more ingrained in sort of the meteorological operations that are occurring. So again, then just hit issue. I know you can't see the pop-up, but you just press OK. And then again, that's going to send the information to the server. You see the update on the map. It puts in this case, the object a little bit further north of where it was before, and then again, you can kind of follow where it's been in the past. and go from there. You'll see that the time label then changed down here as well. One other quick note then, down here in the Hazard Services console, again is patterned after the Hazard Services software that's scheduled to go into AWIPS 2. You can see then it gives you a record and shows you where it's at down here. The gray part then is the period of time where the object was valid previously before we did the update, and here it is going out into the future. So that's all for now.